Estamos grabando.
Bien.
Hola!
Hola. So nice to meet you.
Oh my god, yeah, I need to speak in English. I forgot already.
Oh, yes.
Hello, and welcome to episode number 3 of the Art Dates podcast, where I, Gabrielle de la Puente, a writer from Liverpool, visit exhibitions with interesting people. In today's episode, I'm going to be visiting the Slade degree show, the MA degree show in University College London with the artist Sebastián Espejo. But before we get to that, let me sort of explain why I wanted to go on a date with Sebastián. It's because at the moment I'm writing a new book. My profile of being a writer is mostly to do with art criticism, but at the moment I'm writing a fiction book. It's a dark book. It's a little bit funny, a bit surreal, and I can't stop having dreams about it. So I've just got to get this thing done so I can move on with my life. But in order to finish the book, I need to go to Chile to do some research, and I have never been before. So this year I got an Arts Council England project grant to spend a month there alone thinking through this stuff. And yeah, it's a funny one because like I already feel like a month isn't going to be enough time. Like I've got this idea in my head of the country, but it's like Chile is also sort of a myth. And it's this place where my dad's from, where my last name is from, where my granddad stayed, when my nan left with the kids. And part of the research that I need to do for the book is like trying to trace that migration, make it all feel real. I'm having to hammer Chilean Spanish lessons at the moment because like everyone says Chileans speak the hardest Spanish in the world, and like I believe it. The country was so isolated with the Atacama Desert in the north, you know, the ice in the south, the Andes Mountains, like a hard wall to the east. They were able to resist Spanish colonization for centuries, and oh my god, if I'm going to be there alone for a month, one, I'm going to have to start saying Andes, not like a Scouse person, but two, I need to get to this level of Spanish where I can find answers to questions from people in real life that I cannot get from Googling them. So yeah, there's a lot of gaps to fill in this research project, and I can't ask my dad to fill those in because I haven't spoken to him since I was 13. But yeah, I think recently I realized like I want to know Chile even if I don't want to know him. And I can do that, and I can go there on my own, and I can ask other people these questions instead. So that's what I'm planning to do over the next few months. Using some of these art date episodes, I'm going to be meeting Chilean artists and writers, and yeah, I just want to like stay in the research phase for as long as possible, where I'm just going to be taking a lot of stuff in without giving too much back out, or like not until the book is ready anyway. And I'll use this space to kind of track what I learned, but also share it with a predominantly UK based audience. So I'm very lucky to say that this episode is supported using public funding by Arts Council England. And I think I want to speak to artists specifically because I want to see how they go about expressing the things that they're interested in as well, whether that ends up being a sculpture or a poem. Like, how did Chilean artists go about these things? And so for that, we're starting with Sebastián Espejo, a painter currently living in London. And so with this like overwhelming feeling of needing to catch up on literally everything about a country, I met Sebastián at Euston straight off the train, and we left for the Slade MA show so that we could get to know each other and I could get to know Chile. See this standard Spanish,
Yeah.
and then there's Chilean Spanish. And I think there's a fear that I'm like learning so much Chilean Spanish but I don't want to be like a caricature
Yeah.
when I arrive. So I like read the notes and then doubt it. I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't learn that.
Yeah. Yeah, those things you will just learn it by context.
Exactly.
Yeah. And but I know what you mean. Even for me, sometimes it is hard to place like a very Chilean word because there's also a class definition by the way you speak.
Yeah.
So it is also, even for me as a Chilean, there's like this kind of pressure of speaking how I supposed to be speaking, and not pretending to be from other, like class. quote
Higher
unquote.
or lower?
Either
Okay.
case, there are yeah. Either case, they can recriminate you for pretending to be someone else. That.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the dictatorship in Chile, you can see that the main effect for me, it was dividing people into this class system and not having any public contact with like each other. So you end up usually living in a bubble, with this kind of similar to what happens with the algorithm, that you have like this resonance box and you cannot step outside that.
Yeah.
But in Chile you can really tell by the way people speaks,
Yeah.
because then you can recognize the education,
Yeah.
and that tells you from where they are from, and it is not simply like a cultural thing like here in England, or in the UK, where
Yeah.
you can recognize a Liverpool or Northern accent, but you're an outsider, so you can do whatever you want.
Don't say that. But I'm doing this like Chilean cinema course at the moment.
Nice.
And that's been part of the education. Like,
Cool. You have a very good teacher.
she's great.
Yeah.
She's so good. But it's noticing like, class through language.
Yeah.
And also accent. That in like the older, posher generation.
Oh, yeah.
Really high-pitched voices. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
And it seems that they are always asking a question.
Yeah.
That feels that
Yeah.
they are completely insecure
Yeah.
about what they are talking about.
Or is it the other way, where it's like patronizing? Like they already know the answer.
Oh yeah,
That's how I read it.
Never thought about it.
So it's like always rhetorical questions, and it makes you feel like you don't know the answer, like the right answer.
well,
Difficult. It must be so difficult to negotiate how you actually speak. This is like how you naturally feel you want to, or something.
yeah. That's why I was talking about like this effect of the dictatorship, because it is damaging the fabric of the social fabric,
Yeah.
Because like either you are pretending something or doing like a performance.
Because it can be aspirational
Yeah, it can be
as a way to
aspirational.
leave the social level.
Yeah, or also it is like performative in the sense that you are speaking in that way to establish a belonging, a sense of belonging to different groups.
Yeah. I just watched Machuca.
Nice. Yeah.
Last week.
How do you find it?
So I'm not like a big film person, but Machuca is, I feel like it's going to stay with me. And I think it's worth the watch whether you have an interest in Chile or not. It's this film from 2004 by Andres Wood, and it's about an elite Catholic school in Santiago. The story is inspired by real world events. This priest who worked there at the time ran a social integration project that allowed some poor kids from nearby with indigenous backgrounds into the school for free. The film is about a friendship between like a rich student and one of these new kids, and the tensions between like the paying families who didn't want the poor kids anywhere near their children, and similar tensions between like rich kids bullying the poor kids. Very much just like a microcosm of wider Chilean society at the time, because the film is set in the run up to the 1973 coup d'etat in Chile, which, for people new to Chilean history, replaced the socialist government at the time for Augusto Pinochet's 17-year military dictatorship in a coup supported by the US. The dictatorship led to the torture of tens of thousands of people and the murder of an estimated 3,000 people, many of them left-wing activists and politicians, journalists, poets, famously singers, to name but a few. In the film, the military takes over this Catholic school, kicks the priests out, and we see them opening fire in the local community where those new kids have come from. Yeah, it's very intense, but also like view on how the coup d'etat and that big moment in Chile like wasn't intense for many rich people. Like, you know, for them it was sort of like a normal day where they didn't really need to know what was going on. The news was controlled at the time, so you know, they just got on with their lives like any normal day. But these kids who saw their school change and saw the, you know, the disruption to the lives of the kids with indigenous backgrounds, from their point of view, they really see the difference and also see like how they can't be mates because they're inheriting this moment in history where the other people have decided for them, and it's just, yeah, it's just like absolutely devastating. But I wanted to like interrupt the podcast to describe the film, but also to say that the Chilean government has a website where you can watch Chilean films for free. A bit like BFI Player here, but there it's called ondamedia.cl. Yeah, and I highly recommend just like putting your VPN to Chile and watching some films.
Have you been here before?
No, first time.
Get ready. This, honestly, is my favorite degree show in London.
Oh, high expectations.
I feel like we've gone straight in the deep end. We've gone dictatorship. We've gone cinema.
Yeah, Machuca.
We need to go backwards. Why are you in England?
Because of love.
Oh,
Yeah, my wife is doing a PhD.
amazing.
So I am here because of her.
Oh, what a nice answer. Okay.
So I think there's a Chilean student.
Oh, really? Do you know
Yeah.
the name?
Claudia.
Ramirez? Julio.
Yes.
Ooh, do you know
Lecturer.
each other?
No,
Okay.
no. So that's ground floor. Maybe we can
Yes.
try and find her.
Let's try and, where are we? So maybe it's just this
It's
room
just this one.
behind.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, the penguin, still connected to the caillou of the land, to the journey of return to the soil.
Does this feel very Chilean?
No, not really. No, this
Okay.
is mainly Mapuche.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I think she's from the north. Atacama, like Atacameños. So there are like several indigenous communities in the desert. But this is completely Mapuche, so it is south of Chile. Pehuen is like this. Do you know the monkey puzzle tree?
Oh, yeah.
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 So that's Chilean and it's from
Is
the
it?
Patagonia. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the scientific name is Araucaria araucana. It was, yeah, so the Mapuche people were named by the Spanish Araucanos because of this tree. This is like it was, or still it is like the staple food resource during winter. And it is it's a sacred tree. And it has piñones, like little pines. They are delicious. It's like chestnuts.
Yeah.
You need to boil them for long, and then they become like this sweet, starchy nut. But big. So here seems to be. So these are like the
The shell.
yeah. And this is one there.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit like teeth or something. You know?
Yeah, it does. I really needed you as my guide for this show.
Sorry?
I needed you to be the guide for this because I wouldn't have gotten any of that detail. Yeah.
And this is what you are hearing right now is like mouth harp, you know? So also very Mapuche. Mapuches are like the biggest indigenous group. There are like 2 millions. 2 million, so it's almost 10%.
Yeah.
And this is also like traditional Mapuche.
Is it?
Yeah, for so on the spiritual sense, Mapuche is a matriarchal society
Okay. I didn't know
usually.
that.
So the La Machi is like the spiritual higher, or how can I say, like the guide, you know,
Yeah.
the spiritual guides, and also the healer usually.
Yeah.
And she will wear like all these different accessories or artifacts.
Sebastian suggested that I try and visit a Mapuche community when I go to Chile. I think because he knows that I'm going to be traveling through the southern region. My granddad was born in Calbuco, and Mapuche people live across that area. I'm not familiar with every detail of my family tree. I do know that there are some Mapuche last names in there, but it's like, yeah, I'm not really going with that in mind. And I think, Sebastian said to me, trying to visit with that in mind can be an act of exotification for some people, but if it happens, it happens. Yeah, it's something where I really feel the distance between me and that country because I'm here. I'm recording this in England. Like, I asked Sebastian if Claudia's work felt very Chilean to him, and he said, no, it's Mapuche. Like, there's a distinction between Chilean and Mapuche that I'm still getting my head around because it's a dynamic I've never lived with before, being from England. But I suppose, I'm going to Chile with this interest in trying to understand who my granddad was. And, if that comes into it, then that comes into it.
Do you know what? It's really nice to be in London because I've spent like the last 2-3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, reading letters. Basically, about 3 weeks ago, I went to see my auntie, Chilean auntie. She gave me like a suitcase full of documents from my nan, who was English and had moved over to Chile, had 2 kids, and then moved back. Mi abuelo stayed alone. So there are 3 years of letters that he sent to her in Spanish, but my auntie, had never read them.
But they were still together, or I mean,
Well, the story I always got told was that he was very old. He was in his 60s when he had kids, which
Wow.
is old. And there was like a 20-year age difference between them. And the story I got told was that he got sick and he was like, listen, I'm probably going to die soon. I think you should move back to England with the kids because, once I'm gone, you're not going to have any support, you're not going to have any income. You should go now.
and what year?
This is 1965.
Okay.
So she moves with the kids. And then that's all I got told.
That is the official story.
That was the official story.
Yeah.
But those kids, my dad and my auntie, grew up in England, and then forgot Spanish, assimilated. My auntie was telling me, like, she remembers being on the bus and feeling really, like, embarrassed to speak Spanish, so she just didn't speak, and eventually it just went.
Yeah.
But these letters are in Spanish, so no one had read them
Wow.
ever, and I'm reading them now. And it's that story I got told, not the official story.
Okay.
In the first letter, he says, like, I'm glad you've arrived safely. I think 3 more months and I'll be with you. I just need to sort out some business deals, and then I'll be over there. And I'm like, what happened in those 3 months that meant he couldn't
Oh my
get
God.
there? But I haven't read to the end, Joe,
Wow.
and I don't want to. Because it's weird, like, I've never met this man.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to get sad that he died. I'm trying to translate them for my auntie so she gets to read them. But he's writing them on a typewriter.
Ah, nice. Okay. So there's no problem.
He
there.
cannot spell. And also, like, he uses a lot of, like, sayings from the South
Yeah.
and, like, from,
Calbuco,
like, from the south, but also El Campo. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, what does this mean?
Yeah.
He always says in the letters, I'm sending you some money for perejil
Wow.
y chicha.
Chicha, yeah.
And I'm like, why does he keep saying this? I'm like, did my nan love parsley?
Yeah.
But I found out, like, I was reading this blog about old Chilean stuff, and basically it's a saying that, like, if you've got money for the little things in life,
Yeah.
like the things that don't cost much, but
Okay.
add a lot of flavor,
Yeah.
you can call them herbs.
Yeah.
Las
Ah,
hierbas,
nice.
like,
yeah. Makes sense.
like, and sometimes albahaca.
Yeah.
He's like, he mentions it all the time for ages. So there's all these like hurdles to reading
Beautiful.
what he's trying to say.
But
So
what he was doing, he was working.
he worked in like import and export stuff. So like there's these lines about getting musical instruments in for los carabineros.
Okay.
And I'm like, what? Like getting musical instruments in and machinery for like you know, food carts and stuff.
Okay. Wow. But this must have been like Puerto Montt. Or another city.
No,
So-
Santiago.
Oh, really?
Sí. At that point, he was in Santiago
Wow.
alone. I don't know. It's such a. I'm like, I wish I was an actual investigator
Yeah.
because I've got this archive.
During the 60s, 65. So
He talks about Frei, Presidente. Frei.
Ah, Frei. So it's the first year of Presidente Frei. And we.
He hates him, and he's like, they're not Catholics, they're communists.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah. So probably he was right wing.
I think so,
yeah.
which I hate.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, of course. Well, but we cannot judge people from the past with our standards, like,
100%.
yeah.
That part of the process of reading the letters is like the number one most difficult part of
Yeah.
it, because like there's a part, I hate it, but there's a part where he's like writing in a letter to my auntie who's Margarita or Tolito, and he's like, I'm so excited for you, Tolito. I want you, when you're in school in England, I want you to read, and I want you to write, and I want you to do everything the teachers say, and make sure you don't forget Spanish. Make sure you know Spanish, and I want you to learn English, because then you will be a superior race.
Wow.
Con verde, sangre verde.
Yeah.
I know.
What?
Which apparently is like an affinity to the police. I
Oh,
don't. And like
yes.
government and stuff.
So the police in Chile, it's green. Like
Okay.
they dress green. So
True,
probably,
true.
yeah, the uniform.
See, I don't like this. But the like
Wow.
superior race thing. And I was like
What?
trying not to like get too down about it, but then my teacher was like, again, think about who this is. It's like a man from Calbuco
Yeah.
who basically he grew up in an orphanage.
Wow. Self-made man. Yeah.
Self-made man
Yeah.
who moves to Santiago
In the 60s.
in the 60s and then marries an English woman
Yeah.
and has 2 kids,
Yeah.
which for him must have felt social climbing.
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Upbringing. Yeah.
And then to send those kids to England to study, even though when they came here they had no money. And that's what a lot of the contents of the letters are about, like the fact that he sent them without money and he's so sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that like superior race thing
Wow.
made me feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's so
And
interesting.
at the same time, I sort of understand it because he just
Yeah.
is trying to do what he could.
He was trying to do the best. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't like it. I don't like it. And I think like if he was alive, we would have had fights.
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
100%.
And Frei was the first president that did like the first redistribution of land. So he did like the first Reforma Agraria, which is mainly, because in South America, all South American countries, you can really describe them using like oligarchy as a way of understanding how a handful of families are the owners of everything, There was an English saying that, I don't remember who said this, but that Chile is not a country, but a country club.
Ooh, I don't like that. Oh no.
So probably if he or his family or he was like from the south. Probably he was in contact with more powerful families that owned land, and they lost that land because of Frey. And before that, we had, yeah, I don't remember, yeah, but there was a process of like trying to industrialize Chile. But after that, there was also like a lot of U.S. influence.
Yeah.
So there was like a blacklist during the government of González Videla was like this blacklist of communists.
Of what?
Communists. So they were prosecuted. Yeah. So I can really understand that his positionality, you know, like in both cases.
So do I.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
like it.
So maybe you can see a bit about where my head's at now in terms of this research. You know, part of the reason I want to do art dates is because I want to hear like what is obsessing other people, what they've been obsessed with in the past, why that thing. And I ended up speaking to Sebastian about what happened when he was a student, seeing as we were in a degree show. And yeah, maybe from this point on in the podcast, like everything Sebastian will go on to say about painting, it really made me just want to, I'll just, you know, put the letters back in the drawer. Let me be a painter instead.
Wait, you can lie down.
Wow.
Let me lie down. Ooh. What was your degree show like?
So it was a long time ago. I only have a BFA, so this happened 13 years ago. And it was a painting show, and the topic was mainly the architecture from the 70s, from the west coast of the US.
Oh. Why?
It's weird, yeah, but I was trying to, so I was using this archive of images from the most recently built like buildings in LA, California. It's kind of futuristic architecture, a little bit like aircraft, like spacecraft, something, you know, with that kind of feeling. And so I used this archive of, for us, old images, but back then it was like the image for the future. So it is this idea of this imagined future from the 60s, but that never like really happened, and it looks old already. So my process of painting using those references was also working with a lot of layers, a lot of oil, like very tacky and heavy surface work. So they felt like heavy and dark. So I was using that as a contradiction or in opposition to this initial idea of having something new that looks like the future. Like, what did you study?
I did fine art.
You did fine arts.
I used to be a painter. So my degree show was 10 years ago. But I did. I didn't paint for it, for the degree show. I made a video telling the story of something that happened to me when I was a kid with my sister. When we were little, we both remember looking through the window and a bumblebee pulling tongues at us, which couldn't have happened. And it was like seeing a cartoon in real life.
Yeah.
Like it, like, you know, like those like Bugs Bunny films where like he's in real life films, like he's being edited in. It was like that.
Like, what was this movie?
Space
Jam.
Yeah, Space Jam. It was like that. And we both remembered it happening.
Wow, amazing.
And we still do.
Yeah.
So it was like I need to tell someone. So that was what the film was about.
Amazing, yeah. Yeah, and because of that is like, if you make a painting of that, it loses everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It almost, I actually really like that type of art where it feels like gossip. It's like, let me tell you about this thing that happened. I always thought painting was my favorite
Medium.
form,
Form.
medium, until I like started to hear those stories about like such and such did this performance, and they sold snowballs on the streets of New York.
Yeah.
I know someone who studied here, and they swallowed a pearl, una perla, as their degree showpiece.
Wow. For this year.
This
No.
is years ago. This is
Years
like maybe
ago.
like 12, 15 years ago.
Wow.
But you know, like those little
Those
things.
stories, yeah.
I don't know why. I'm just
Yeah.
finding them like so. Like I want to collect them.
Yeah. You know what? It reminds me of a Chilean artist called Martín Larroche. She lives in Amsterdam, and she's an amazing artist. I totally recommend like his work, and he has like 28 museums. He owns 28 museums
What?
because he has like each of those museums are a hat,
Okay.
and inside the hat he has like little objects that were given from real artists for like donations for the museum. So he will do a performance like taking off his hat and telling you the story of each object, and it is amazing. And he took that from a modernist French artist, I think, that he was like joking about, like opening a museum on his
On his
own
head.
hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. See, that's what I like.
Yeah.
I used to have, I've still got an auntie who, whenever she calls, before she says hello, she goes, "Any news? Any goss?" And I feel like it's become part of me to like, I'm like hunting for like
Yeah.
Gawain.
Gawain.
Where is it? Can I have some, please?
Well, I'm doing the podcast is a little bit of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, how nice. Yeah, I was thinking about it because that also makes you more like attentive, like to what people are talking, and also you are looking for that, and that of course must mean that your life is more like connected to people, you know, in a very like genuine way. It's not just
hope
because of the
so.
pleasure of the gossip.
No, I know, yeah. For her, I think it was just like, that's what she lived off.
Yeah.
She needed it every day. She needed like a hit.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you something. And I remember that because my dad is now like so much into neuroscience. He's a psychiatrist,
Yeah.
and he told me once that the biggest proportion of our memory and our capacity of conceptualization and everything has to do with gossip.
Does it?
Yeah, yeah.
What? Why on a like a evolutionary level?
Well,
why?
yeah, because if as we are part of this very complex societal system, complex systems, we need to know what the other are thinking about us and what they are talking about each other in order to survive.
Okay.
Yeah. So
See,
that,
I don't feel like I do it for the survival. I don't feel like the whimsy. Interesting.
but there is I mean, it makes sense, no?
Yeah. It definitely does.
It seems that also having like these white parts of the eye, you know, that I don't know how they are called even in Spanish. I don't.
Sclera?
Sclera. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, there's like almost none other mammal has those parts on the eye visible. You know, they are all like black.
True,
Yeah,
yeah.
pupil and iris. Keeping visible those parts of the eye, it was also something related to society, to know where the other people were looking at. You know, because it is very interesting because at the same time you are more vulnerable because others can really see if you are looking or not. But on the other hand, you can pay attention like collectively, and you can know if someone is paying attention to you or if it is looking to something else, you know. So
Every so often I see the white of my cat's eye, and if it's like she becomes a human for a second.
oh yeah,
I was remembering, like, whoa, she's got them. Oh my God, I've never thought about that. Very rare.
very rare.
There's an expression.
But when she's like very very excited, you
Yeah,
know, she opens,
or yeah.
Mm.
And it like reveals something, and you're like,
It's like the bumblebee for a moment.
exactly,
Yeah.
it's like the bumblebee. Oh my God, that's so true. Let me take a picture while I'll take a picture of the whites of your eyes. Let me see if this
Yeah.
works.
Okay, so I'm gonna look up.
If you want to see the whites of Sebastian's eyes, head to artdates.co.uk. I'm taking a film camera with me on all of these dates because I want to. And yeah, I'm uploading all of the pictures onto that website along with a transcription if you'd rather read than listen. I'll say again, just because I think it's very kind. Take It Easy Lab in Leeds have agreed to develop all of these film photos for Art Dates for free. So along with that, they've given a code for listeners if you want to send film off to get developed, and they'll post back prints but also digital scans. You can get 10% off with Art Date 10.
I didn't do much research on your practice before I came, but I did listen to one podcast interview you did on YouTube. There's like a video of you and, and
okay,
an
yeah,
artist,
a long time ago, yeah,
2023.
yeah.
But the first part of it, she says, what for you, what is painting, or like what do you get from it? And you talk about how it's a way to show like what you're paying attention to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, this can feels to me like finding an old written notebook and like not feeling that you are the same anymore. You know, I really like that, and now I even try to push that in the process of painting to paint to a limit where you are contradicting your initial intent. So within the process, the painting becomes something alienated or so much different from you, you know?
What are you doing to alienate it?
So I have like several different tricks to... One is that I paint, I don't know, around 20 paintings at the same time. So when I am back to the number one, I almost forgot what I was trying to do. Yeah. Or maybe I would... So the painting reaches a certain point, and then I will cover almost everything with a semi-translucent layer. So then I will go back or just dialogue with that precedent, you know, with that information. But
And try and like figure it out again.
yeah, or to push into a different direction. And the third one that I can remember right now is like just throwing different references to the same painting, as if the painting was just or is just a surface where you can incorporate like different images, fragments, references over time. So yeah, from the starting point, I cannot really tell what is going to happen, and makes me feel so good because it gives me a sense of freedom always, you know, because I can, like.
Wow. When you talk about it feeling good, I thought, oh my God, that must be so scary.
Yeah.
Like when I write a text, I try and like not speak to anyone else. I try and not bring any other references in. I try and do it as fast as possible so I don't forget what I'm trying to do. So the idea that I would like leave it, do 20 other texts, come back, put something over the top of it, make the font really faint, and be like, wait, what was I trying to say? That sounds horrible. Why does that feel good? That's my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Why does it feel good?
It is trying to perceive this abyss,
A what?
the abyss, and this can sound a little bit like mystical, or it has something to do with spirituality, I think.
Yeah.
Is trying to feel that like the limits or the boundaries of your own self, or and trying to push a little bit, or trying to at least for a moment have contact with something that is unknown, but it is also part of you. You know, so it is like taking a drug or something, you know, and having like a trip,
Yeah.
and being in contact with an angle or an aspect of you that you were not aware of,
Yeah.
and that is very scary, but at the same time it is so exciting because it like breaks the limits of your notion of self a bit, and that makes your work more about something related to the unknown or something bigger than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not about you anymore.
Yeah.
And I really like that feeling, because it gives you, at least for me, it gives me a sense of purpose, or something like that you are related to something bigger.
Wow. I suppose it works because as well, like the type of, like you're often painting like a physical object outside of yourself, but so much of what I write about is going more inwards. So maybe it doesn't apply so much, and that's why it sounds terrifying. But if I was to write portraits of somebody else or places, or it would make more sense.
Yeah, probably with poetry. Yeah, and to find something new. Like that's the thing.
That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, like
Makes sense.
yeah.
Wow. Have you ever been like a painting tutor? Have you ever like done any teaching?
Yeah. I try always to have at least 1 or 2 students.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so chic.
Yeah.
I love that.
And last year I had. This is very funny. This is kind of gossip.
Okay.
The gossip.
Go ahead.
Last year I had a student from the U.S. that she is first generation from Korean parents, and she was a mastermind undercover spy from the CIA.
What?
Yeah.
Did she just come out and say, "I'm a spy"?
No, I did a little bit of research about her, but then during the process of teaching and doing the workshops together, it was all like by Zoom because she lives in the US. She she was telling me a little bit about it, and she's like the sweetest and amazing student. But knowing that is so weird because, you know, the CIA also was part of the coup d'etat in Chile and in so many other places. So she was involved in Iraq, she was involved in Vietnam. She must have like blood on her hands, you know, on one way or another.
So what does a Korean spy paint? What did she paint?
Still life.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but she's amazing.
Not where I thought this conversation was going to go. Can we go up this pot?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So these rooms are used as studios?
I assume so.
Yeah. It's the only explanation.
It must be. Part of the reason I wanted to bring you is because there's often very good paintings. Very big as well.
Yeah. Whenever I go to a show or a museum, I'm always just looking at the paintings.
Yeah. Honestly, same.
Yeah, my partner is like, she's trying to look everything, you know, like all other stuff.
Because that's polite.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like this behind you.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it's Charmander.
So flat.
It is, isn't it?
That one is amazing as well. I really like this.
I really like these paintings.
Yeah.
This is so
Wow.
good.
This is very good.
I love the tiny bit of blue between the screen.
The screen. Beautiful.
The portrait book I sold like 2 years ago.
Beautiful.
Like any, like
taking a picture of you, taking a picture of that.
And the warmth of everything.
Very warm palette.
Yeah. With the blue.
But then the chair just being so like no details.
Yeah, so flat.
Oh,
But it's good.
I feel like if I was painting this, I would try and make that chair be so perfect. But
Yeah.
that is so much better.
It's better. Yeah.
It's so much better. Are these yours? Oh my god, they're so good.
So good. Like very smart solutions, like pictorially beautiful. Like
Have you got like a card or something?
All my cards ran out. But
No, you're too popular.
I have my Instagram and other
Okay.
details there.
my favorite so far.
The artist we are raving about in this part of the podcast is Lakshya Bhargava, who was our favourite at that point and then still our favourite by the end of it. I got to have that nice feeling of us both having the same favourite thing by pure chance. Yeah, I really recommend looking him up. His Instagram is rookie_artist_17.
You said you go to the studio in the mornings. Do you
Yeah.
feel like you've got a good structure?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, too much maybe.
Too much?
Because it's every day, like from Sunday to Sunday. So
Every day? Do you have a day off?
no, never. Like
Do you need it?
no,
No?
it's just pure pleasure. But I think like regarding my like partner and family and life,
Yeah.
I really need to consider spending, I don't know, like the mornings during the weekends with her and with our dog, you know, and people, yeah.
It's hard, isn't
Yeah.
it? I'm like this with writing. And yeah, I need to come away
Yeah,
and be in the real world
exactly.
and be a bit more social.
Yeah. Well, you are here.
Yeah, no, so are you.
Yeah.
We are healing.
Yeah. This one is interesting. I went to see Alvaro Barrington show at Emalin. He has a very similar aesthetic, like with this kind of dry paintings. He has like this,
I quite like that dryness. I know what
Yeah.
you mean.
you can really feel that the
Like the
canvas is
texture.
soaking,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then you have this on top, the green that is like floating or pushing
Do
forward.
you ever get that abstract in your work?
Sometimes in the process, yes.
But it
I-
never ends up.
Yeah, it's not the ending point.
Mm-hmm.
But there are like segments of or fragments of my paintings that are very abstract. And what is funny that is that usually if I don't tell people what the reference is, they cannot see. Like, for example, if there's a drawing, like a very thin drawing that is almost disappearing on the background, it feels completely abstract. But as soon as I describe the reference, there's no turning back
I get
to
you.
see the abstract.
Yeah,
You know,
the
once-
trick is gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like this. It's a very weird process of. Have you ever tried to listen someone talking in English and trying to go abstract, like
Yeah.
not?
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, I still get it with Chilean.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it's in your own language and you like let go a bit,
Yeah,
I think I know what you mean.
yeah. To just feel the noise, the sounds.
The shape of it.
Yeah, but it's a very difficult exercise once you know the language. It's the same with visuals, I think. Once you recognize something, yeah, it's very difficult to trick your mind.
We carried on meandering around the degree show. Like, we were literally there for hours. That degree show is so big. Sebastian spoke about, you know, how sometimes when he's traveling back to Chile, he will take some paintings in his luggage. And I realized that must be another form of alienation in his process to work on the same painting in different places. You know, I only ever think of like writing or sketchbooks as being like these mobile things, but just love this image of the paintings being part of that too. We also saw Noemi Conan's work. This is a painter whose work I've been obsessed with for a while now. In this show, we got to see these canvases all linked together of people and chain link fences and loads of cats and And then this huge image of a cat smoking while it's sat on the back of a horse, like just like the ciggy coming out of its mouth and this big S-shaped smoke trail above. I would have bought that painting there and then if I had the money. I literally took like a terrible film photo of the cat smoking on the back of the horse as like my own postcard souvenir, like, you know, like when you leave like a museum gift shop.
So um, I'm just back from a trip to Korea and Japan, and I had a show in Seoul, and I've been like doing a bit of research about like classic Korean painting, landscape painting, and there's this school called Korean True Vision Landscape Painting, which sounds like, I don't know, like it can be true vision. Yeah, it sounds a little bit like high tech. No, yeah, but it's a very traditional way of like interpreting the role of a painter as someone that needs to be. It's a very romantic way of understanding, as far as I know, as someone that needs to be in front of the subject matter and needs to be like affected by it. And then he or she would like paint like that scene, but not necessarily representing it. It is not photographic, and it is not like describing, not even close to Japanese traditional paintings or even Chinese. It is a completely different way of brush stroke, brush work, you know. So there is something that I really like about this school, and it is the use of patterns in the brush marking, you know, in the brush work. So they will describe the textures of the forest just by repeating the same pattern. So overall, it gives you like this impression of something very flat, but then you can like put your nose on, like touch with your nose when in this case the book, and see all these little patterns. And I really like this double position of the viewer, someone that can see the whole as something, as a landscape, and then get closer and see something like a pattern or just like little marks. So I've been working like a new body of work, like using as a background and making reference to this school of Korean painting. And so they are mainly landscapes. But I've been using this pattern making with very old brushes. So it gives you like a texture of something, I don't know, like, yeah, like a very particular texture, like the resemblance of a forest or something.
Do you feel like it's going well?
Yeah, it's going very well. So on top of that, like initial reference to those landscapes, I am using something that I bought in Japan as well, that is called gofun, and it is like a mixture of crushed seashells mixed with rabbit skin glue. So it is like a white pigment, but it's semi-translucent.
Wow.
So I've been
Has it got like a shimmer? Like a...
Not really, it's very opaque. But I was using marble dust on my previous paintings, so this feels like something similar but different at the same time.
Wow.
So I used that as a layer in between. So I've been painting now, for example, today I painted on top of this dried layer of crushed seashell with rabbit skin glue. And it feels like so exquisite because it, like, when it dries, it is like very porous, so absorbs and behaves almost like a paper. So I can go again with another layer of this brush marking.
I feel like when I used to paint, I would have found that very frustrating. I would want, I would feel like it was taking the paint away from me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, give me it back.
Yeah. No, but this again is like one of my processes of, you try to do a mark, but then the response of the surface changes your intention.
Yeah.
So it's again trying to alienate
Alienate.
myself.
I get you.
So yeah, I often paint on wooden boards, unprimed wooden boards, so they will
That's
absorb.
hard.
Like,
Oh my god.
yeah, so that's what I'm up to. But it's been fun, and I've been growing on size,
Yeah, I was
which is
gonna.
also
It seems that you mostly do small on the
Yeah.
smaller side.
yeah.
But I suppose if you want that trick of like something close up and something far away,
It's
what's
better if
better
it
if
is-
it's bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we carried on, Sebastian told me about a Chilean book club he's been part of in London. He said that they've been reading a lot of Argentinian writers like Mariana Enriquez, Samantha Schweblin, and he also recommended Chilean filmmaker Maitel Alberti's documentaries. So I need to look them up after I finish this work.
And I always think that if you are like truly talented or gifted, or if it is like very easy, for example, for you to paint, you are not gonna become like a very good painter, because you need that struggle, you know, to push, like to keep pushing, to keep doing.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I see something similar with that actually, because maybe I'm thinking about it because we're here, where like the students who are like really good often get signed by a gallery
Yeah.
and then make the same thing for a few years and then just stop.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah. No, but it's true. Yeah, totally.
It's so odd.
Yeah. But if you have been like struggling with the process,
Then you just carry on struggling
Yeah.
and you always are moving forward.
exactly,
Yeah.
and discovering new things.
Yeah.
And I think when we were on the third floor of the building, we bumped back into more work by Claudia, the Chilean artist whose work we'd seen at the beginning with the monkey puzzle tree. It was a filing cabinet full of dirt, and there were more shells, I think, inside. Yeah, we noticed that it was like work without the indigenous elements, and spoke about how difficult it can be to show work like that when it's taken so far out of context, you know, different country, degree show, that kind of thing. And that's especially when like students, artists are working without curators, which usually works to bridge the gap. I was lucky because Sebastian could bridge some of that gap for me, but like it's hard to know what other people took from it. And yeah, we spoke loads about Chile, the different places I'm gonna be going, and yeah, a bit about like the difficulties in this notorious language too.
So when I was in school, I did Spanish, but with Spain's standard Spanish. And then I never knew until recently that there was like so many Spanishers,
Yeah.
and it has driven me insane. Because genuinely, there's only so much space inside the brain for me. It feels like, I don't know if that's true. And I accidentally have taken up so much of like the memory with the wrong words. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
I feel so cheated.
No, but I think I know what you mean, but I think that you can, if you put more and more and more, it's easier
Do you think?
to, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Have
hope
you-
so.
But have you heard about like these techniques to memorize?
Like what?
Like the Giordano Bruno memotechnia,
No?
the techniques to remember. This like was very important during the medieval period here in Europe. Because normal people wouldn't know how to write, or
Yeah?
so you need to, the exercise consists on imagining a table full of different objects, but objects that you can remember well,
Okay.
you know, but very specific at the same time. So
Yeah.
then you can associate for each object on that table something that you want to remember.
Okay. Yeah.
So you have like a parallel system, and when you are remembering that table full of objects, you are capable of remembering this other, I don't know, like verses.
So it's like
whatever.
like doubles. Yeah.
Yeah, if you double the effort, you keep like. So if you know like a word in Spanish from Spain and then also in Chilean Spanish, and then on top of that, you can even try to relate that with an object. on a
Yeah,
table.
okay, that's interesting. Sometimes I don't do that, but I like try and animate the word. So like, frenar. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Frenar means to slow down.
okay, or like, esmalte. So in my head, whenever it's like esmalte, like it's
Yeah.
going onto the nails.
Yeah, yeah.
Esmalte is nail varnish or enamel. And as I said it, I like mimicked painting my nails.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah.
That's been helpful.
Yeah.
I do feel like there's only so far I can go with like making my own sign language up to be this bridge between Chilean and English. Oh god, my head is so full. And then I had like an actual test of the language because as we were on our way out, we bumped into the artist whose work we'd been seeing all over the building.
Oh, another.
No, isn't this just the end?
Never ends.
No, I think this is the exit.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, no te conozco, pero yo soy chileno y sí.
¿Sí?
Qué bueno trabajo, sí.
¿Sí? ¿Ya viste mi trabajo?
Sí,
Ah,
vimos.
¿Claudia?
Bueno, sí, Claudia.
Vale, sí.
And basically, Sebastian was asking about Claudia's family, and she told us about their migration within Chile. She also spoke to us about how Pehuen, the monkey puzzle tree, is still spoken about using the colonial name for it, Araucaria auracana, instead of its original native name, and how language is part of colonization, and so it can be part of decolonization too.
Entendí casi todo, pero
¿sí?
no todo.
The sirens were loud back on Euston Road as we walked to Divana Belpuri house for lunch. So I'll repeat what we spoke about because it is actually sort of unbearable listening back to the audio. Yeah, I think Sebastian spoke to me about his time doing TEPS. It's an art school in London with a artist-led painting program. And he described like how the very first group crit changed his entire practice because it was one of those crits where the person whose work is being looked at is not allowed to speak. But he said like the effect of that was that he went from doing a painting in one sitting to this really slowed down current practice he has where he's not really sure when a painting is going to end. And I stopped recording and we switched to Spanish and we had lunch while I told him about the book that I'm writing, which I'll get into on a different episode, but also this sense that every conversation I'm going to have will open things back up and that the trip to Chile is going to do that even more. And what if I never know when the writing is going to end? The same way that Sebastian isn't sure about his paintings. And, you know, I thought like maybe there's something about that that actually feels quite good. To end, I asked Sebastian where he wanted to send people when this episode was over, and it was to the song by Facundo Cabral called No soy de aquí ni soy de allá, which means I'm not from here, but I'm not from there either. And I'm going to link that on the page with the transcription and photos on artdates.co.uk. Thank you for listening to this episode with Sebastian Espejo, and I'll see you in episode 4.
Divana Belpuri house. Perfect. Okay, I will stop the recording.
Okay.
Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
How long
Goodbye,
was
goodbye.
that?
Don't know.
Like a couple of hours at least.